What's up guys, I'm Jay, welcome to StacheGarage. So this channel is going to be dedicated to tracking my journey building my 1.6 turbo NA, as well as I have a 2005 stock NB. It's an automatic, yes, go ahead and roast me, it's fine. We'll change that later of course, but mainly going to be this car and where we're at now versus where we end up years down the line. I don't ever plan to sell this car. So a little bit about me, I have a zero car experience. Maybe I held the flashlight from my dad in my old Honda Civic when we were changing the brake pads, but this has really been my first time building a car. I wish I had tracked my progress from the beginning. I wish I vlogged it because I bought this car, I think I've had it for 10 years now. It was 100% stock. I promised the owner, this old guy, that I would not modify it, and hopefully no one tells him because he definitely won't recognize it now. So I fell into Miatas because back when I was like 21, me and all my friends saw a Miata at a junkyard and we fell in love. It was $1,200. It was like 4 of us. We were like, who wants to invest? So we bought it. That thing was clapped. The diff was welded. The title was shaky. It was slammed. It was straight piped. The interior we gutted, but it was awesome. I think I really fell in love with cars and Miatas based off that experience, just because it was so nice. I would just come home from work and I see all of them in the garage just messing with it, taking it for drives around the block, tearing up my rental house driveway with the welded diff. So it was just a lot of fun, and that's how I caught the bug. What really sucks is none of them are car people, so for some reason I'm the only one still throwing money into cars, but it is what it is. I'm happy. I let them drive it whenever I see them, and I love how, you know, it makes them smile. Hopefully it makes them remember our good times. But other than that, like I said, this is just going to be a vlog channel. I do have plans to autocross it a lot more. So right now, if you're not following me on Instagram, StacheGarage on Instagram, it's going to be down for the next couple months because I want to do a complete overhaul of everything. The engine bay is disgusting. It needs a lot of tender love and care, which I'm going to give it. The rear end is stock. The brakes are stock, which is very stupid that I turboed it and didn't mess with the brakes. So we're gonna fix all my mistakes from before, because honestly I rushed the car. When I first pulled the engine, I got the turbo kit. I was so excited just to finally drive all my hard work, drive a turbo car that I built, that I was like, who needs brakes, you know, we'll just leave them, they'll be fine. Which they have been, but now that I want to get more serious about driving this car, pushing it a little bit, and learning how to handle this car, I want to do all the upgrades now, so that way when it is on the road, I'm taking it out, I don't have to worry about things. So it needs a complete refresh. We got bushings. I need a new diff because I'm running the stock 1.6 diff, which, as you guys know, blows up randomly. I took it to an autocross event before and that thing was screaming. I was scared for my life, but it did fine. And so I really just want to do all of the upgrades that I should have did before I even turboed it. So a little bit about the car in its current state. I have a low mount Kraken kit with some other pieces parted in from other places. I'm running his low mount manifold, a Garrett 2560, his full 3-inch exhaust from the turbo back. I have a HKS blow off valve, the intercoolers from Fab 9, and I was running a Mishimoto radiator. That was before I bought, that was one of the first upgrades I had. The radiator I had was toast. We'll get more into that in the next clips. But as far as the engine goes, I'm running Mega Squirt 3, which I got for super cheap. I was trying to run the Speedy EFI, but that was way over my head. As some of you guys might know, that thing's not plug and play. So I upgraded to Mega Squirt, thankfully, for cheap off Craigslist. And other upgrades, I have BC Racing coilovers. If you guys know me from my Instagram, you know I just got it wrapped. I have some carbon Miata pieces. I have the 9 Lives Racing Street Wang. I have some work wheels, which some of you guys saw the pothole that I hit, but that's all replaced by now. That's just a brief overview. You guys will see in another video, as we go along. In the next clips, I'll show you guys what the engine bay looks like. That's really going to be my main focus before I start ordering parts, because the engine bay is horrible. I'm always so embarrassed whenever people say, "Oh, Pop, you got the cracking kit? Let's see, pop your hood." And then I'm like, "Oh, please no, the latch is broken, darn." Just because it needs work. You guys will see. I'll show you guys right now. So yeah, the engine bay is pretty gross. I've already pulled the radiator because I'm going to pull the engine. There's my coolant reroute. Don't roast me too much for the pipe because I left it that long because I knew I was going to upgrade the radiator, so I didn't want to chop it up. Wanted to wait for that. I'm going to delete the water neck here. I'm relocating the coolant reservoir overfill. My brake booster was leaking, which is why my paint is destroyed. So, all you people whose brake booster's leaking, just clean it up. It's gonna eat your paint. You're gonna have a headache like me. I'm like, oh, it's leaking drops, and now it looks terrible. So other than that, the cracking kit here, as you guys can see, the low mount is awesome, but it's hideous because my engine bay is so cluttered and dirty and whatnot. So as you guys can see, I have a lot of work to do. The first step is pulling the engine, and I'll be honest, I've only pulled it once and I remember it was not great. So we'll see how long that takes. Pretty sure I'll have to take off this bumper because I think I tried last time to keep the bumper on and it was a headache. So we'll get all that done hopefully this weekend. I'll probably wait to pull the engine until I have another set of hands just in case. If you guys are wondering, the Miata back there, that is Daryl's Miata. We swapped my Mishimoto radiator into hers because hers was the original, it was Browning, and so why not take my perfectly working radiator and toss it into her car. And I'm sure there'll be some future content with her car. She doesn't really know what she wants to do with it yet, but I'm sure I'll be around to help her out with it, avoid some of the mistakes that I made on mine early. And another thing is that this is the original 1.6. It is a short nose crank, has about 140,000 miles, so I do not have any plans to build the internals just because I know eventually that crank is going to fail. I have heard that as long as I don't mess with the crank and it's in good running condition right now, there's no wobble, it should be fine. So we'll see how long that lasts me. I don't want to pour money into building an engine that might fail. So we'll see where that goes. And that pretty much wraps up where we're at, where we're going, and what this channel's about. So thank you guys so much for watching. Honestly, if you made it this far, I really appreciate you. I am very excited to share this journey with you guys, whether it's 2 years down the line or even 2 months down the line. I really look forward to tracking the progress. And then also looking back and cringing like, why the heck did I do that? That was so stupid. I should have did this. So feel free to leave any criticisms down below. If you guys have, maybe I should go another route. Maybe I should research another part. Please leave it below. I know a lot of you guys are way more experienced in cars and Miatas, so I will read every comment as well as DMs on Instagram. If you aren't following me on Instagram, make sure you follow StacheGarage. I'll link it down in the description. Like the video, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one. So thank you guys again.